I'm Brian from LastMile SF, and I'm here to show you how to install a fingerprint reader on a Dualtron scooter. So first off, these are the tools that you're going to need. A dental pick is pretty handy. You're going to need a 5mm Allen, a 3mm Allen, a 2mm Allen, the fingerprint reader, a drill with a small bit, and then a little bit of a larger bit, and then most importantly, don't forget, you're going to need a pint glass for some beer. So first, it's actually a 4 that you're going to start with, and you're going to loosen all this stuff up here. So loosen your brake, so you can kind of move that down, and then grab your 3, and then you're going to move your eye out of the way, and get that loose. And then you're going to remove this bolt right here. So it's a 3 also, and you can do it from both sides, but kind of just want to pop that guy. Once you get this out, then you've got 2 washers behind here. So what you're going to want to do is pull off your quick release and then carefully pull this back and then hang on to these 2 washers so you don't lose them. So you get a washer there and a washer there, and then you can kind of let this thing carefully dangle. Now you want to remove this. So you're going to get the top bolt to remove the eye. So grab your 3 again, and then it's these 2. Now that you've got those removed, you take this, and then the thing I forgot, which I'll go right now, is you're going to need a screwdriver. And there's sometimes some foil over this screw, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that you got to take out. So I'm going to grab my Phillips head right now. Okay, got my Phillips head screwdriver. A little beer break. And now remove these screws. We do not suggest using drills at all on anything here. Just use the good old-fashioned screwdriver. If you drop a screw like that, make sure you take a drink. Oh my God. This is serious, dude. Once you've got your screws out, then go ahead and remove the back. And now what we have going on here is this is where your eye connects. Leave this big one alone. This right here is your jump. So what you want to do is remove the jumper, and then you're going to install the fingerprint reader switch into there. So this is where the dental tool comes into handy. So take this and kind of work both sides of this up. It can be a little bit stubborn. There she comes. Once you pop that out, celebrate with the drink. So now you've got the jumper out, put this piece down, and now you're going to focus on the back. So right here, take your screws out. You don't want to lose those guys. So put those here. Now you're going to want to drill a hole right in the bottom, right here, and this is to make room for the wire. So we'll get the drill with the small bit, and then you kind of want it pretty much right in the center. You're just making a little bit of a pilot hole towards the edge. Then you got a little hole right there. Now I'm just gonna get a little bit bigger bit, and I'm just gonna pull the bit down and just make it a little bit of a cleaner gap. So now you've got a nice hole right there for the fingerprint reader wire. Then take a drink. Okay, now what you're gonna wanna do is install the fingerprint reader onto the handlebar. And on this one, you're gonna want it so that it says MiniMotors face down right here. So we're just gonna slide this like so. And now we're gonna plug the fingerprint reader into the eye. So this just goes where the jumper was. Now I like to just give it a test to make sure we didn't goof anything up. So power, you got blinking right here. It looks like we did it right. So far, so good. So power it back off. And now we're gonna reassemble the eye. Okay, so now that you've got it clipped in, you've got the fingerprint reader wire going through here, and then you've got the eye wire coming out of here. Everything looks good. Now we're gonna reinstall the screws. The longest screw goes into the single hole over here. And then the 3 small screws go back to their homes. Once you got the eye display back together, it's time to take another drink. Now we can reattach the eye to the eye holder. And take a drink. Okay, next you want to put those 2 washers back on here, and then you can slip the handlebar back on. So 2 washers, right like that. And then slide it on here. And then get your bolt and slide that back in. At this point, you just want to screw this piece back in. If you have 2 3s, it's actually pretty handy. One on this side, one on this side, and then just screw them together. And then you can put this in. And at this point, you probably want to celebrate with another drink. And if you're doing it right, you're probably out of beer. Go get another one. Okay, now you have to line everything up. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get this eye where you want it. So I like it about there. So then you're going to want to tighten these 2 screws. And then you're going to want to tighten your fingerprint reader right up. It should be tucked up against these 2 screws. So right like that. Make sure that wire is hanging out just fine over there. And now you want to use your 2mm, and there's a little grub screw back here. You can kind of have to move the brake out of the way. There's just this single guy right there. We're just going to tighten that up. And this doesn't have to be over tightened. Just get it kind of snug on there. Give it a little shake, feels good. And lastly, you want to tighten the brake. So grab your 4. Make sure you're even with the left handlebar and tighten. Now it's time to check your work. If you did everything right, everything should be solid, tightened down, everything should feel good. Hold down your power button. The fingerprint reader should be blinking blue. Your display should look something like that. And if you did, time to celebrate with a drink. Thanks for watching. We're going to be uploading some other videos here showing you how to program your new fingerprint reader. Follow us, like us. Thanks for watching.
I swear I gotta get out of here. Are you actually?
Come on, man.
All right,
This is professional. Can you hit the drill?
There's going to be some fucking major editing going on here.
Fuck!